Hey girl, hey. Welcome back to Taste of Taylor. Today is Thursday, which means we are in studio. The guest today, many real things, NBC correspondent, New York Times bestseller, but we go way fucking back to the trenches together. But this is the first time she's ever been on the podcast. And honestly, this is the first time I've I saw you recently, but this is like the first time we've really caught up in like 17 years. Ladies and three gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, Chloe Melas. Hey girl, hey.
Chloe Melas. You forgot how to say my last name in 17 years. There's so much to discuss.
Chloe Melas. Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl.
Chloe?
I need a martini or something.
Literally.
I've never even had a martini, actually.
In your entire life?
I had an espresso one, but is that like a martini?
I would love to pop your dirty martini cherry. Can I?
Yes, let's do that.
Want to go after?
Sure.
But do you have to go work?
Well, I'm covering the Diddy trial that's about to start.
That's work.
That's kept me really, really busy.
Chloe has like a real person adult job. But I know her way back when I still don't have a real person adult job, but I knew you way back when neither one of us had real person adult jobs. We weren't even real adult people, but man, we had a special chemistry, girl, I have to say.
First of all, you were the first famous person I ever met.
Thank you so much. I'm not famous even still, but I will take that. I will receive it.
So, I mean, like, you had this massive... you still do, but you had this like show on Sirius XM,
yes.
And you had like the headphones and the laugh and the guests and like the whole thing.
Okay, fine. I guess I could understand it back then.
Yes,
sure.
It was so cool. And I used to like come hang out at your apartment.
And I'd smoke a million cigarettes.
And I haven't smoked a cigarette in 8 years.
Since me.
My mom is so happy listening to that. When I met my husband, Brian, he was like, ew.
I know.
And he was like, if you ever want me to kiss you again, then you can't ever smoke a cigarette.
Honestly, he's a lifesaver.
So I was like, you know what? Fine. I want to kiss you. I don't want a cigarette anymore.
How hard was it to quit? Were you like Carrie Bradshaw?
No, I don't know. What did she do?
Oh my God. First of all.
I stopped.
No, Carrie was like, met Aiden and was like, first of all, she was like, fuck this guy that makes, like, I have to give up cigarettes for a man. That is sexist. And her friends were like, they're disgusting, quit. Anyway, she quits cold turkey to go on a date. It's like a coffee date that goes into like a movie that goes into dinner. And she's like in the middle of dinner. And then she runs out and she leaves her jacket behind and she has a backup ciggy in her purse and she starts to smoke it and it falls into dirty water in the city and she picks it up and she keeps smoking it. And then he catches her and he's like, this is a problem.
So I don't think I have an addictive personality because I was able to just cut it.
Just stop.
In a day. But I have to say, SJP, one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met.
Really?
And she helped me on a really bad day. I was in the middle of IVF. I was convinced I would never have kids. I now have 2 little boys, Leo and Luke.
Adorable.
Both through IVF.
Yeah.
And I was crying that day. I was working at CNN. I was just did this huge sit down with her and she took me in the hallway. She gave me her cell phone number.
No.
I don't have it anymore, I know.
What happened?
I don't know.
What happened?
New phone.
Are you
We ended up
crazy?
never hanging out, but she gave me such great advice about building my family and to not worry about it.
See, I love her from the show, but I go back and forth because of all the shit with Kim Cattrall. I like can't figure out what's going on. Also, did you see the video of her when there was an eclipse?
No.
SJP?
No.
Girl, I will show that to you later. She is losing her mind over an eclipse. It's giving mushrooms.
I just love all of them. Yeah. But here's the thing that might really upset you is that I have never seen every episode of Friends and I've never seen every episode of Sex and the City.
That's insane to me.
I know.
You're an alien.
I know. And I've never watched Game of Thrones.
That's crazy.
And I don't have TikTok.
Honestly, that's refreshing and I love it.
With me?
No. I love that for you. Well, what's wrong with you?
I cover entertainment.
So. No, what's wrong with you is that you have a very real adult job. You guys, NBC News, Today Show, NBC Nightly News, NBC News Show. Like, you have so much shit. It's crazy. So wait. We really have to just go back, though. We have to take them all the way back for them to understand. First of all,
how do we, why do we know each other?
Correct. Chloe should be here no matter what. Your credentials, be here. Let's cover Diddy. We're going to do all the things.
Yes.
But why we're really here is to go back in a time machine of our lives. So we were recently connected at, it was the Female Founder Collective. It was a dinner at the New York Stock Exchange.
So fancy.
Rebecca Minkoff, we love you.
I need to go buy stocks now.
Literally. I don't even know what money is. I know how to spend it, but I don't know how to make it. Okay, so we were there and my wife is like a human scanner. And my wife's never even met you. Ever.
Yeah, no, I had never met her before.
But I am not a news watcher, but my wife is avid. And so I have been seeing you on my television for very many years. And I would go, that's Chloe. Okay. So like New Year's Eve, you'd spend New Year's Eve with us. Also like just, during the week, just giving the news, giving the info to the people. So Tay was like, Chloe's here. And I was like, I have to go say hi. But I was really nervous because I haven't seen you in so many years. And honestly, I want to take this time to formally apologize to you. Okay. My best asset and my worst asset is that I'm a loyal ass bitch. But when my loyalty goes to the wrong people, then I have to apologize a decade later to people. So I just want to let you know, I love you. Like when we were at this event together, you guys, what was it, 3 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
I
because
was high.
Becky
I was high.
Oh,
I was high on our supply. I was like literally, like we were texting back and forth. I was laughing like Tay's like, are you in love with Chloe? I was like, I might be. But it was like, it brought me back to the first time that we ever met and like the times that we would hang out. I love you. You are so funny and kooky and smart and all the things. And the thing too is like, you have this like, I'm going to say serious job now, but you're still a kook. And I fucking love that shit.
I am a kook.
I am
so
a
weirdo. And I'm so glad that you see me
She
for that.
just picked up the phone to talk to the police because your wallet was stolen.
Somebody stole it out of the cart. And you know what my husband said to me? He
What?
said, serves you right for going to a different grocery store.
It
And I was
does.
like, you are right. It's like, take the same route home. But like to avoid dementia, aren't you supposed to like mix it up? I was
Yes.
just trying to mix things up on a
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes.
And then the shopping gods were like, no, and my wallet is gone. I only had like $20 in there. So whoever stole it is probably so disappointed.
I mean, it was Chanel.
Trashed it.
No one throws out Chanel. That shit is right now on Poshmark.
You know what? It is a real wallet. I know you were just in vogue with a fake Chanel.
No, it was real. That's my one real one.
Oh, it is real.
I have so many fakes that everyone now thinks I'm just a fake ass bitch. But some of my shit is real.
But I do want to say that I was brokenhearted when you dumped me.
I dumped you.
after. Okay, so
Okay,
let's
let's go
explain to
back.
everybody
Let's go
why
back.
you dumped me.
Yes.
So I was dating this guy named Patrick. So he hosted a show on
Yes.
SiriusXM
Yes.
called Cox with P.
He did indeed.
So many
Yes.
problems with that in hindsight, the name of that show. But
Very
it was
problematic in
It was just
retrospect.
like a male relationship show
Yep.
for Cosmopolitan Radio.
It was getting to the male mind.
Yes.
Yes, that was the
and you
vibe.
were on that channel.
So I was the morning show. I was Wake Up with Taylor, and then it was Patrick, and then it was like Get in Bed. There was like all these different variations.
And I dated him right when I moved to New York City. We were introduced through a mutual friend named
Yep.
Pete Dominic, who I'm still friends with.
Pete Dominic, blast from the past. Tell him I say I love him.
He is awesome.
He's
Pete.
great.
Pete, we love you.
I love you, Pete.
And he's like, you got to meet my friend Patrick. And so he brought me into the studio.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm this like aspiring broadcast journalist. He's like, let me show you what it's like in a radio studio. And Patrick asked me out, and then we ended up dating for the next 2 years, and that's how we became besties.
Yes, it's a true story. So Patrick, he had a knack for dating incredible women. I will give him that. He had great girlfriends, but not a ton that I met, and you were one of the few. And I just loved you. We had chemistry together. I mean, people can tell already. We have great
We had
chemistry.
such great chemistry together. I mean, I just thought you were the coolest. You had this cool apartment, and I
This
knew
is when I was rich. I was married to
And
husband.
I knew her when she was married to a man.
To husband.
I went to your wedding.
Wait, she was at our wedding.
I was at the wedding. All I remember, am I allowed to say this? Is that he had like this big gray patch of hair on the side of his head. That's all I remember. And Patrick, on our very first date, I'm glad I didn't end it there, or else I wouldn't have been friends with you.
Agreed.
But when I went out on that first date with him, I'll never forget, we walked out of dinner and he took a look at me and he started running in the opposite direction, sprinting. I've never experienced anything like that before.
Wait, please, more context to this story.
I don't understand. And he would do the craziest things, like take my purse and flip it upside down in front of people and dump everything out of it. It was crazy. And I dated him for like 2 years until I finally was able to like break the cycle. But then we weren't friends anymore.
I know. And I'm really sorry.
That's
and
okay,
honestly,
though.
no. I really like
But had you not, you would never have met Stassi.
And also, I knew everyone he dated very well because he didn't have like a lot of friends, and I was one of his few friends. Don't you think that's fair and accurate?
Yeah, I mean, he had you and then this one guy named Nick who lived in his apartment building. That was it.
God, you're totally right.
I know. It was just, look, I was young. He was older than me. He was like 10 years older than me.
Yep.
And I thought, like every woman, that I could change him. And
Of
that
course.
was my problem in all my relationships in my 20s. I
Yes.
always thought that they are going to be my knight in shining armor, and they are going to show up for me and be there for me. And I just always gave too much of myself. I was too nice.
But you were young and you were new to the city. Like, don't, no beating up of yourself. No. We're not going to play that game.
I'm not. But I'm just saying that, like, I just always thought that guys would change, and I stayed in relationships far too long.
Yes.
But then it helped me realize when I met my husband.
What was right?
It was so right. It was so easy. Brian's always been so kind and loyal and honest, and so
not running away from you.
Not running away from me down the street. And you want to know something too? I have never checked my husband's phone.
Unbelievable. And you know
How
what?
amazing is that?
Same with me with Tay. Never, ever.
I had it down to an art with boyfriends where I would like tiptoe around the room and like steal the phone and like.
Did you ever get caught?
Put the code in. Yeah.
And what would happen?
Yelled at.
So wait. So you guys dated, and it was a little bit off and on, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
A little bit. And I remember there were times where you guys were off and on, and I was like, we'd still hang out. And he would get so mad at me.
But even just off and on for like a week or something like that.
So I remember saying to him, listen, like you guys do this, and then you guys get back together, and then I like see her, and then I feel weird. So like, how about just like stop with the back and forth? Because like, I don't know, I want to be a friend to her, but then you get so mad at me when I am, and it like puts me in such an unfair position. So yes, I am loyal to a fault, but also he kind of like made me. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt the pressure.
And I get that. I met you through him. It was bad. Right?
Yes.
Emotionally.
Yes.
And it was so bad that when I was pregnant with my first child and I was breastfeeding one night, I was scrolling through Instagram. I think there was Instagram in 2017. Was there?
There was. I can confirm.
Okay. And so I was scrolling through and I saw Stassi and Patrick had broken up, and like a real psycho, I found Stassi's email and I wrote her an email, and I looked it up today for the first time.
Read the email.
She never wrote me back.
Read the email.
I'm going to pull this up for you right now. I don't regret it. I actually really like what I had to say, actually. So
I have follow-up on this email, but you go first.
Okay. Hold on. Wait. So I'm really bad with technology.
Me too. Take your time. We can edit that.
Stassi. Hold on.
Wait, while you're looking.
Okay, I found it.
Okay, you're fast.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
August 18th, 2017.
Okay.
Hey, Stassi. Should I do a dramatic reading? I won't read all of this, but I'll just give you the highlights.
Okay.
So I think it was like in the middle of the night. No, it was 10 p.m. So
okay,
it wasn't 2 a.m.
Civilized time.
That's a civilized time.
Also, don't forget, she's West Coast, so in her mind,
she is West Coast.
It's like 7.
So a couple things that actually you might find poignant in hindsight. So I say, hey, Stassi, I know this is super random, but I hope you see this as coming from a good place.
Okay.
I'm Chloe. I dated Patrick for several years when I first moved to NYC. This is now 7 years ago, so I had time to heal. And I said, wow, time flies. I'm now married, and actually I just had a baby. My husband. I can't wait till he watches this episode. He's going to be like, who's Patrick? We've never even talked about it.
That's crazy.
I am now married and actually just had a baby 6 weeks ago. And then I go on to saying that I heard about your breakup with Patrick. Mm-hmm. And I said, there are so many things that I can completely relate to. And I would love to give you some perspective if you're open to it.
Oh,
I know every relationship is different, but I can tell you that dating him was one of the darkest periods of my life. And then I just went on to say that I got my happily ever after. You deserve it too.
Oh, Chloe.
And then my very last sentence to her is, if I don't hear from you, congrats on all your success, and I hope you find your Prince Charming.
Stop.
Yeah, I mean, it was like quite long, but she did find her Prince Charming.
She did. That's women supporting women, number one. Number two. So after we reconnected at Rebecca Minkoff's event like 3 weeks ago,
Which, by the way, how much do we love Rebecca Minkoff?
the most.
She's like the coolest. And
Justice for Rebecca.
I've never even seen the season of The Real Housewives.
don't.
So, well, I didn't. I know Luann and Ramona and Bethany and everybody, but I don't even think I've seen a full season of anything.
She has a soul.
My husband used to date Tinsley Mortimer. But
I'm
That
dead.
can be for later.
I'm dead.
They lived together.
I'm literally on the floor.
They had like little chihuahuas together.
They shared fur babies?
They had a dog named Bambi.
Who got Bambi? I feel like Bambi was on the
R.I.P.
show.
Yeah, I think Bambi,
Bambi
was on the show.
Oh my God. I think we saw Bambi die on the show.
Oh, that's so awful. It's so
I'm so
sad.
sorry
Yeah,
for
it
your
really
loss.
was. Brian has like a painting of Bambi.
I'm fucking dead.
It's not hanging in my house or anything.
It's in his man
We
cave.
now have Coco and Frankie, but yeah.
So I left you at the event and I was like, I am so in love with Chloe. This was the reconnection I needed. Like, it was like no time had passed. So I came up to you and I was like, hi. And you were like, oh my God. And within a couple seconds, we, like, I don't know if I said it first or if you did, but I feel like one of us was like, so I don't talk to Patrick anymore. I think it might have been me. I think it was like, hi, it's so good to see you. I don't talk to Patrick anymore. And you were like, you don't? And then, because if I feel like if I hadn't said that, would it have been more arm's length distance?
No, because I'm fascinated to know like
Right.
what he's up to and where is he and did he get married and did he have children and
idea.
like what happened. But I was so excited to see you and to finally meet the other Taylor in the flesh because I've been like stalking you guys on Instagram.
Oh my God, I love it so much. So it was like immediate reconnection. And then we just like had the most fun all night long.
So
and then we
fun.
texted the whole way home in the car. And my wife thinks I'm in love with you. And it was the best thing ever.
And also like I have a separate side text chain or text exchange
my wife.
with your wife.
I know.
So she's like moving in to be my bestie.
Oh,
So
careful. She turns straight women, girl.
You need
Case
to
and
have
point.
us over for dinner. Where do
100%.
you live?
Jersey City.
Is that in Jersey?
It's, yes.
I mean, so stupid.
I have a Jersey license plate and also a Jersey license. Kill me.
I have been known to break up with friends who are in New Jersey because I'm in Westchester and it's so hard to get to.
It's okay. We'll come to you.
Isn't there a really big mall there where I can ski?
There is the Mall of America.
Can we go?
Sure. Let's go skiing at the mall.
Take my kids.
Oh my God.
It's like going to Dubai.
So I left you, but I immediately was like, oh my God. And we were like posting up a storm on stories. And I was like, oh my God, I have to call Stassi. Because if Stassi sees this with no context, she's going to be like, what the fuck?
But is she even going to know who I am?
Well, okay. So, but just because you're an ex of man buns, you know what I mean?
Did she know I was?
Definitely.
Oh, she did.
Definitely.
Okay.
So I call her and I'm like, you'll never guess who I saw. And so I said you, and she's like, oh my God. So like, does she have any connection with Patrick? And I was like, no. She asked me the same thing, or we talked about the same thing. And like, we are bonded. It's like, I don't want to say it this way because I fucking love you no matter what, but an enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Yeah. So I said to her, I was like, so she said she sent you an email and she's like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
Did she find it?
I never got it, but now she has to go look in her email. I thought it was a DM.
So did I.
I thought it was a DM.
And then this morning I looked at my DMs and I was like, oh, does Instagram like delete your DMs after a while?
And then you realized it was
I know
an
nothing about
email.
technology. I don't even know how to use AI.
we have to check her email.
I've never even seen an episode of Vanderpump Rules, so here we are.
Well, he was on it, girl, for a season.
I know. I didn't watch it. All I
Girl.
know is I read that he upset Lisa Vanderpump.
Girl, he made a comment about her ass being nice, which totally tracks, right? It does. So
Then I looked at my email. I was like, well, maybe I emailed her, and I did. And I was like, oh. And then, it was like nice to see this vulnerable moment that I wrote her, and I didn't expect a response. I just assumed that she has so many emails.
She does,
and that she'd be like, who's this? What is this?
She definitely didn't see it. But when I told her
lady
about everything, please. When I told her about everything, she was like, oh my God, we all need to get together. Like, my bucket list is having drinks with Chloe. And she was like, honestly, it would be even more healing than therapy.
Wow.
So
I agree.
this needs to happen.
This needs to happen.
And also, I love you so much,
Maybe
and I love her so much.
Mention in her next book or something.
Oh,
she's
girl.
like a 7-time New York Times bestselling author.
It's insane.
She's amazing. She lives in a castle in
Yep.
West Hollywood
Yep.
with a very handsome husband
Beau.
who just had a birthday.
Yes.
And 2 beautiful kids. There
So
you
wait,
go.
So when I was on tour,
Journalist
I have
Chloe.
to let you know though, because you don't watch the show. When he was on VPR, he is like universally unliked by VPR fans.
Stop.
When I was on tour, I opened up for Stassi.
I saw.
And so my opening set was like, so confession. I'm the reason that Stassi met Man Bun. And I would
Wait, is
get...
that what he's called?
That's what he's called because he had a man bun in the show.
Yeah.
And Chloe, I would get booed every single time I said it, every single
Why?
night. Because that's how the audience feels about him.
Oh, they don't, okay.
Booed, like, you brought him into her life?
So we used to walk down the street together and the whole day would get ruined if there was wind. Because if the hair moved, that was it. We had to turn around and go back into the apartment. He used to get mad at me because he said I didn't walk right down the street.
I can't. What does that mean?
I don't know. But like looking back though, I'm really glad I had those experiences. And I'm
Yes.
not here to trash him, but I just think like, you know, I wouldn't tolerate that anymore.
Well,
I would speak up for myself.
Absolutely.
Now.
Well, let me say again, too, and this is why I so apologize. A, I'm sorry I dumped you because I fucking love you, and
But
I always
I'm glad
have.
to get back together with you.
Me too.
This is
and when I would
great.
see you on my TV, like
You're
New
going
Year's
to
Eve.
move friends out of the way. You know
Girl.
what? I hosted New Year's Eve with Andy and Anderson.
Hello, I'm telling you, I watched you on TV and I cried.
I
cried.
Stop.
I swear, hand to God, I was like, Tay, we were such good friends. And okay, so
It was the night that Andy and Anderson were told they could never drink again.
yes, they were too like drunk and maybe or maybe not stoned. So, but you were so adorable, and I was like, God, because at that point, hindsight's 2020, right? So when I'm seeing you on New Year's Eve coverage, I am like, okay, now I know the truth. So when it was you and him, I didn't really know how he maneuvered in relationships that well. So I was taking his word for it.
Of course.
But then I saw him with another girl that I was like, and she would tell me little tiny crumbs, but enough for me to go, Chloe, this is the same. And then when he dated Stassi, I saw first fucking hand. And I remember you told me things one-on-one about what happened with you guys. And when I was hearing Stassi tell stories, I was like, oh my God, this is all fucking true. And you are the reason I was able to help her and tell her to get out of it. I was like,
Oh, my
Stas,
God.
this is him. It's not going to change. And they were back and forth. And when they were done, I was so relieved.
Not looking to, reconnect, but best of luck,
Well, now you are married to an angel of a human.
An angel.
Who's also the sexiest man I've ever seen in my entire
He doesn't
life.
wear a shirt. We don't think he owns shirts. But actually, you want to know something really funny? He just launched a t-shirt line called
I'm dead.
Caucho Pepe. And it's not Caucho E Pepe, he tells me. It's Caucho Pepe. And he is really bullish on this. And the big question
Yes.
with all of us is, does this mean you're now going to start wearing clothes?
He can't.
He can't.
His bod's too beautiful.
He's got the most beautiful... I think he was born with an 8-pack.
He's an Adonis.
Yeah.
Does he work out like crazy or is this like fucking natural?
Both.
Like, no.
I guess. So here's what I think happens. So I don't know what this is like because my mother raised me on Chick-fil-A. So I guess if you work out from a young age and you just work out all the time, then you can like not work out
What?
and then your body stays nice.
Lies.
I think that's how it works.
I ran for like 6 months.
like ran to like the mall.
My mom made me break up with my boyfriend, so I'd run by his house every day.
Oh,
Really good
wow.
motivation to
You
work
were a
out.
big athlete? So I played lacrosse for one season and I would hide from the ball like this.
That's right.
And so they cut me and then I became the manager of the softball team. And then I needed one more credit. And so I joined the wilderness team.
Ooh, you are a lesbian?
So I joined the wilderness team, softball, lesbian. Yeah, I think we're all a little gay.
I could not agree more.
Almost lots of my family members are gay.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? It's great. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Love it.
Ally.
I am a big ally.
Okay, but back to your gorgeous husband.
But my family members still eat Chick-fil-A. Just throwing that out there.
Thank you for that. I know. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I got you. Wait, so what is with the shirtlessness? So, I mean, if I look at that, I would have no shirt on either, but
So I guess he gets hot with clothes on. So,
I hear he's an Eagles fan.
yes.
My wife is an insane Eagles fan. Now I'm an Eagles fan.
But we're a house divided.
You're a Chiefs fan?
Well, that's only because of the Taylor Swift thing.
Okay, so you're a new Chiefs fan.
I'm a new Chiefs fan, and I don't know anything about football. I only know this. What does this mean?
Offsides.
Offsides.
Offsides. I
right?
think that's offsides.
And then don't they do this? Or is that a bad...
That's a touchdown, I think. Or that's a touchdown. And then this is, I think, offsides. But you know what? I don't know what offsides is.
I don't even know what it means.
But you think it's cute?
My kids are really big into sports.
Okay.
It's hardcore soccer, and Leo just started flag football. So
Cute.
now I'm this like
Sport mom.
sports mom now,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything about it. So Leo has to be somebody for this project in second grade, and he wanted to be David Beckham, and I've convinced him to be not an athlete because I'm like the brain mom and Brian's the sport dad, you know? And by the way, I was a C student, but here we go. And so he is now, drumroll please, Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, like in Gladiator?
Yeah, but he's a Roman emperor. He was the kind emperor who did meditations.
No kidding.
So here I am, like spicing up Leo's life with a little bit of history over here.
Wait, you were a C student. You are so smart.
But you want to know what? I think that C students,
actually,
we work really hard for the C's.
Yes.
And I think that makes us hard workers. I think that there's a thing I read somewhere that, and I'm sure the internet will correct me, or your audience, but I think if you're a C student, you're more successful in life than straight A students. That's what I tell myself. So
I subscribe.
And if you curse, you're supposed to be really smart too.
I've heard that too, and I concur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my husband all the time.
I fucking agree.
He's like, clean up your language. I'm like, I'm brilliant.
It's true. Wait, can we talk about your job?
Yeah.
So I knew you.
My dream job.
Your dream job. It's so well deserved. I knew you back when you were at HollywoodLife.com.
NBC is going to be like, who were you talking about on this whole podcast? This Patrick guy? They're like, that was not one of the topics.
Okay, so I knew you back in the day, and then I feel like I also met you when you were doing correspondent work, because the red carpet at the VMAs. Where would you have been around that time?
So I was at a website called HollywoodLife.com.
Yes.
For Bonnie Fuller, who they say that The Devil Wears Prada is loosely based on her and Anna Wintour.
I believe it.
And so I love Bonnie, and I worked for her for 6 years.
You know, she was on my radio show for like years.
Yes.
She would come on and do a segment.
I know this.
Yep.
I used to help prepare her research to go on. I was like, I'm friends with Taylor. She never believed me.
Oh, tell Bonbon
I know.
to sit down.
I know. We're going to, you know what? You should have her on the show.
Oh my God.
She'd make a really good guest.
Only if you're here.
Yes. Okay,
done.
I'll do that. And so was at Hollywood Life. Then I went to CNN.
Yes.
I was at CNN for 8 years, and that's where I saw you. And I also interviewed Amber. It's all coming back right now.
I had on a white dress. My titties were sloppy and hanging out.
I remember that at Radio City Music Hall. And I also interviewed Amber Rose that night.
Shut up.
It was you and Amber.
It's like the same person.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then how did you end up at NBC?
So, well, my time at CNN was ready to come to an end. I had been there for 8 years. I loved it there. That team is still like family to me, but I wanted to be somewhere that really prioritized entertainment more. And I felt like NBC, there were more opportunities there. I mean, that's really what I thought. And also when you're there for like 8 years, isn't 7 years like a common law marriage? Like
absolutely.
And like 7 year itch, like that movie of Marilyn Monroe, like you're supposed to, it was, time for me to try something new. It was either stay there for the rest of my life or switch right now.
Yes.
Before I'm like old and wrinkly. And so I landed my dream job at NBC News, and I'm a correspondent for the whole network, which means maybe I'm on the Today Show, maybe I'm on Nightly News with Lester Holt, and now Tom Yamas, who I'm obsessed with. He's so awesome, so nice. He's now taking over for Lester, but Lester's still hanging around for Dateline. Okay. I do stuff with Dateline.
Dateline's the fucking best.
True crime is my jam.
Girl, this is such a smart job. Like, is it hard?
So, well, I mean, I talk to lawyers a lot who help coach me on, the legal system.
Right.
And I'm in courtrooms, and I'm going to be in the courtroom every single day for Diddy. I'm doing a podcast about the trial.
Stop.
It's only 5 minutes though. I didn't know if you know this, but you can do like 5-minute podcasts.
That's great.
Okay, I'm doing it with Andrea Canning, who's like the famous face of Dateline, along with, Keith Morrison and everybody else.
Yes.
But yes, I'm doing it with her. I'm so excited.
When does it come out?
It starts on May 12th.
Do you know what it's called?
It's part of True Crime Weekly, which is the Dateline podcast, and it's going to be like a special edition every day. Okay,
so I am so addicted to this trial, or whatever, the strappings of what it will be. It feels like it's been going on, but it hasn't been going on. You're the expert. You tell me what's going on with Diddy.
No, it has been going on because Cassie came out. So Cassie dated Diddy.
Yes, and she came out, a year ago at this point?
She came out in November of 2023.
Okay.
So it's been a minute.
Yes, it has.
So she came out with a lawsuit against him, a civil suit, accusing him of all sorts of emotional abuse and saying that she had been a part of something called freak-offs and forced to take part in sex acts against her will. And it was really disturbing but they settled that.
Yes, and I remember it
within
kind
like
of
a
went
day.
away.
And it kind of disappeared.
And then I remember people being like, we don't believe her. She's, clout chasing, or she's after the money or whatever. And then 6 months to a year later, the video came out. It was released, right?
So really right after that, other civil suits started coming. So different accusers started coming forward with accusations. And so the rumblings were like, who are the big celebrities? There's tapes. His houses were raided. And it was like all on, aerial video, helicopters.
Yes.
They raided his home in Miami. They raided his home in LA.
Yes.
And everybody on the internet's like, what did they find in there? So that's kept the momentum going online. The virality, is that a word?
Yeah.
Of it all?
Sure.
Okay. The viral nature of it.
Yes.
And then CNN, the team I used to work for, they broke this massive story. They
the ones
broke
that got that
surveillance footage of Cassie being brutally beaten in that hallway at that hotel in Los Angeles in 2016 or something like that.
Yeah.
And nobody knows to this day who gave that video to CNN and how they got that.
Right.
There's all sorts of theories about it. And then it was several months later that the New York prosecutors, they charged him with several different things: trafficking, financial crimes, RICO. He's denied everything.
Everything.
And so this trial, we don't know who's going to testify, but some big names could be up there. We could see Cassie.
Yep.
We could see Kid Cudi.
Damn.
We could see different people from the music industry.
Is Kid Cudi bad or is Kid Cudi good?
Well, allegedly,
I love Kid Cudi.
allegedly Diddy blew up his car,
Whoa.
according to the
he's a
indictment.
victim.
So
Victim Cudi.
yeah. So we
Okay.
don't know who's going to take the stand. And is Diddy going to take the stand?
Ooh, would that be an advisable thing to do?
So after talking to lawyers over the years, they say that it's a game time decision that you make during trial.
Okay.
Because sometimes it can be worse if you take the stand.
And if you come across as untruthful, pompous, etc.
Right. And on cross-examination, right? Are you going to
Right.
get your story straight?
Right.
Is it how's this going to go down?
Where there's smoke,
I
there's
actually
fire.
have 2 trials back to back.
What else?
I have Harvey Weinstein.
Holy shit!
And then I have
that's
Diddy.
still going on too.
It's you want to know something that's going to blow your mind,
Yes.
which I don't really think people realize.
Go.
So Harvey Weinstein, he had this big trial in New York
Yep.
in 2018. His conviction was overturned not that long ago, and by the New York Court of Appeals.
he appealed it.
And he was successful.
What?
And so now he's being tried for the exact same thing with the exact same women and one or so other women, and we don't know who they are.
What is that like? Isn't that like double jeopardy?
No, because they're trying him again, and they have some new things in there too. So they're trying him all over again, and so
Good.
he might take the stand.
Keep him in there. Is there any world in which he's innocent? No.
He's at Rikers
Damn. And Diddy's at?
Metropolitan Detention Center, 2 places Taylor Strecker does not want to be. Bad. I mean,
Do you think it could ever end up there?
No.
These are my 4:00 a.m. thoughts.
do you pay your taxes?
Yes.
Most of them?
I try.
Okay. Okay.
I have an accountant.
And your parking tickets? No.
What about your parking tickets?
I know.
I heard you on the phone with the cop.
My town has these 2-hour meters, and I get these tickets. I get home from the train at night and I see it flapping
You
on
say,
my
don't
windshield.
you know who I am? I am a famous news anchor.
Don't you know?
Yes.
Don't you know?
I'm a correspondent. How dare you?
I'm that one that people on the train aren't you? Don't you cover the Blake Lively story?
And you
I'm
say?
like, yes.
Ooh,
I
what are your
do.
thoughts on Blake?
So I think it's such a complicated situation.
Me too. I'm
I've
actually
never
more
met
team
Blake,
her.
and I've never met Justin Baldoni. I've never met either of them, shockingly.
I watched them out my window film It Ends With Us.
Stop.
Swear to God. You know the scene where they're kissing, he's in the onesie and
Wait,
she's
are
in
you the one
the
that
fatigue.
filmed the stuff that's gone viral?
No, I'm not, but I'm the reason that I think they blurred out our building because I was like this up against the window. Like a fucking loser. My nose like a pig.
So I spend my time talking to moms. Either I get DMs from people,
Yes.
or in my town, I get stopped all the time in Westchester. Shout out to Pelham. Now everybody's going to come find me. No. But everybody asks me what my thoughts are. And I just say that this has gone way farther down the path than
I
I
agree.
ever could have expected.
I agree.
And I just don't see this ending well for either of them
Yep.
because it's just so public.
Yeah.
What's happening. I
Yes.
mean, the website that his team started, some would say rightfully so, with all those texts and emails and voice notes.
Insane.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Wait, can we go back to Diddy for a second?
Yes.
So something that I just saw literally this week.
Tell me.
So I saw that there's a new person that is coming with accusations, charges. I'm not really quite sure what the verbiage is, but that he was humiliated and forced to wear a dick mask around a party. I'll tell you the details, okay? This is what I've absorbed, okay? So there's this guy, we'll call him Dick Face, okay? Maybe Dick Mask?
Okay.
Dick mask.
I feel like you're like the New York Post or something explaining this to me. This is great.
I am.
I love the New York Post.
Me too. Okay,
My husband literally sends me links from the New York Post all day, and he's like, "I am your source. Like, I'm helping you break news." I'm like, "You don't understand. Like, I have to report this and go and get my own sources and like work on this.
Yes.
I can't just
Read
publish
page
it
6
because
Page
they wrote
6
it."
said it. Yes. Okay. So this poor guy, total victim. Okay, if his story is honest.
Sure.
So he was, he betrayed Diddy in some way, shape, or form. So Diddy was going to teach him a lesson. This is what we do to traitors, basically. So he said he was at his front door, and the story, I have a lot of questions, but just follow me, okay? He's at his front door going into his apartment, and he sees that there's this weird Vaseline substance on his hand. Next thing you know, he's like kind of passing out. Then all of a sudden he's coming to, okay? And he's in a car. And this car goes to Star Island because they're in Miami. The car goes to Star Island.
I've always wanted to go to Star Island.
I've been.
Doesn't J-Lo live there?
I think so.
I want to meet J-Lo.
Well, get ready for this.
She's my like number one.
I heard she has like a Jesus halo around her.
I would love to meet her. I love them. I've seen Selena so many times.
Gomez?
The movie.
Oh.
Where she played Selena.
Bitty bitty bum bum. I know it.
Bitty 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 bitty. Bum, bum.
Her butt in that?
It's so good.
It's amazing. Okay.
All right, back to the story. Yes.
He's going over Star Island, and he comes to, and he's being walked into Gloria Estefan and Emilio.
I
almost said Estevez, but it's Stefan.
And I've met them both, and I like them both a lot.
Then this is not good.
Okay.
So that it's alleged.
Allegedly.
But they went to the house, and Emilio, was very involved. And then, according to this guy's testimony or whatever, what would he say? His
Allegations.
Claims, okay, that LeBron James is in their house in Star Island in a towel, and he looks at him and says, "You got to do something with this guy. Like, this is not good." So then they take him into a tunnel that then goes to Diddy's house. It's connected to the Estefans. Anyway, Diddy proceeds to parade him around with his penis mask on and then sexually assault him. And like lots of people watching, Jay-Z and Beyonce, according to the testimony, whatever the allegations were there. I really am being a bad lawyer right now. But that they were there, witnessed it. They weren't necessarily directly involved, but they were there. And Beyonce was like, "What the fuck is going on?" He like quoted them. Anyway.
You want to know what
the
I have to say about all of this? So for the last year.
Yeah.
There have been so many different stories that have circulated all over the internet because a lot of different people are filing civil suits.
Yes.
And what I think is really interesting is that a lot of the civil suits, I won't say all, but a lot of the civil suits, those are not part of the criminal trial.
Exactly.
And I think that's really interesting because I'm not saying that the civil accusations aren't true.
Right.
But it's interesting what the New York prosecutors are going after. They're focusing on Cassie.
Yep.
They have that surveillance tape. They
yes.
want to play it for the jury, and Diddy's team does not want that.
How do you find a jury, the jury pool that hasn't been completely...
I know. It's going to be interesting. It might take over a week to seat a jury.
I wonder if I'll get called for jury duty.
Okay. Well, no, because you're in New Jersey and you have to live in New York.
Wow, Chloe, wow.
I know. Look
Way
at this.
to remind everybody I'm not in New York
multiple
anymore.
multiple reasons why you couldn't get called to be a juror.
Do I have an opinion?
Do you pay your taxes? No. I'm just joking.
Does that get me off jury duty? Because in that case, I will go to jail for tax evasion. Fucking jury duty. But this is one that I would like die to be on.
I've never been called for jury duty.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
The luckiest girl in the world.
Luckiest girl
I
in
get
the
called
world.
all the fucking time.
But you want to know what? Now that my wallet has been stolen, somebody is going to. There's another Chloe walking around. They have my driver's license. They have everything. They have everything of mine. I'm going to start getting like doctor's bills from places.
100%. Wait, so how long do you think this Diddy trial, first of all, when does it start? Is it going to start on time? I feel like it keeps getting pushed back. Is that it pretend?
It's only moved like about a week.
So I made that happens. I
No,
make things
but
up.
it's real. So it did shift a little bit. It was supposed to start May 5th.
Okay.
It's starting May 12th. So you're right.
Okay, and you're going to physically be there.
So I'm going to be there in the courtroom every single day.
And who gets to be there? Not many people.
Well, you make it sound so, yeah.
It
I'm the chosen one.
You are.
Or I'm like the sacrificial
lamb.
But
Yes.
So I'm going to be there every single day. And I've been there for all of his pretrial hearings. I've seen him. I mean, I sit like as far as from me to your producer, your handsome producer
Wow,
over there.
wow.
I sit, really close. I was just
Does he
in
turn
there.
back and wink?
So he's waving and smiling at his family.
No.
He does a lot of this. He's like kind of like praying to his family.
prayer hands,
He's
yep.
all gray. He was coloring his hair.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, because he can't do it now.
Right.
Damn.
Gray beard, gray hair. And so you, the public, will be following along with court sketches because there are no cameras in the courtroom. I am your eyes and ears, and I'm going to come out and I'm going to be launching a TikTok. I don't know how to do it. I've tried to post a TikTok before and it doesn't work. So
I have people that
really
can help you.
stressed
No,
about it.
I
and
know
the people
who
that do
help.
those videos where they like point to stuff, it's so cool.
Yes.
I don't know how to do it. Like
They point to like a bunch of different
they
things.
point to things,
Yeah.
Or they have like words on the screen.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm going to be in there, and it's going to last 8 weeks.
No way.
And big question, are me and the boys and Bryant, are we going to Hawaii or not? That's the big question because we have a trip for Hawaii booked.
Stop.
So it's in limbo, and the boys are stressed about it.
What do you think? What's your gut telling you about
I
Hawaii?
think they're going to go to Hawaii without me. Fuck. I'm going to end up like busting in there.
That is insane. So wait, your job is crazy. What is the craziest thing you've ever had to cover?
The craziest thing I've ever had to cover. I will say I broke the story about Kevin Spacey that got him fired from
Stop.
House of Cards.
How?
It's a crazy story.
Can you tell?
I don't think you have enough time.
Oh.
I was at CNN and I locked myself in a conference room for 2 days and called like everybody who had ever worked on House of Cards, and I published this story that was explosive, and he got fired from House of Cards. So if you were a House of Cards fan, I am sorry. So I like
It's okay.
I like ruined it
No,
for everybody.
justice needs to be served.
Justice needs to be served.
Yes.
And then he had the civil trial with Anthony Rapp, and I was in that courtroom, and it was crazy because he like looked at me a few times, and I felt like he knew I was the one that broke it, and that was like exhilarating, but like a little crazy at the same time.
I was gonna say, have you ever felt like a little bit scared?
No, not yet.
Have you ever been like, this is a really confusing story. I don't know if I understand what's going on. That would be me. If I was a news correspondent, I would be so confused all the time.
I wish I'd gone to law school. That is my biggest regret. So for any of the young people out there that are listening who want to be a journalist, find some cash, study. I got one look at that LSAT book in college,
I took it.
I did. Oh, you
I took
did?
the LSAT.
Are you a lawyer?
Girl, I did so bad. I've never tested so poorly in my
You
life.
actually took it?
I literally went to a Fish concert, or attempted to go like 3 days before. If that doesn't tell you what my state of mind was, I don't really know how to explain
I'm
it to
a big Dave
you.
Matthews Band fan. Have you ever had Dave on the show?
Girl, I haven't, but I'm obsessed. We have to go to concerts together.
I want to go to the Gorge. Is that a place? The
Yes,
Gorge, and I want to camp there.
Let's do it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I will wear hemp skirts and wool socks
I'm like
and
the
Birkenstocks.
biggest Dave Matthews
No,
Band fan.
I am.
And then I was told I need to like Billy Strings because of Dave.
I
Do
don't
you know
know
who Billy
the
is?
Billy
You
Strings.
need to learn about Billy Strings.
Wait, what's your favorite Dave song?
Well, the one that has the most meaning for me is Two Step.
Love. Okay, yeah, you passed the test. It's the truth. You know, you get it. You're one of the girlies.
Gray Street makes
yeah.
me really just emotional.
Stay or leave.
The
God, rips my heart
my
out.
husband's like, what is this? My husband. So here's something that is not great about Brian. I can't bring him to any of the concerts I like. He's sitting
No.
Sits on his phone.
No.
I took him to Fleetwood Mac. He was good at Fleetwood Mac. I will not go see Fleetwood Mac until Stevie lets Lindsey Buckingham back in the band, by the way. And I'm actually thinking, this is how crazy I am. This is like what's wrong with my thoughts at night. I actually have these visions that I'm going to get Fleetwood Mac back together, that I'm going to talk to Stevie one day, and I'm going to talk to Lindsey. I'm going to do interviews with them, and I'm going to like reunite them.
I love this for you.
Maybe we can make it happen.
Let's do it.
But Dave, I love him. Every time I've requested to interview him, his team, they never say yes.
Wait, who is like your number one person to interview that you can't say Dave?
J-Lo.
Oh, you said that.
I've got to meet her.
I have a listening problem.
I love her. So do I. My husband would say the same thing. I have a listening problem and a facial recognition issue. And here I am as a journalist.
Honestly, so do I. Tay is my eyes and ears for everything. Thank God for her.
So do you believe it? So I also want to meet Brad Pitt.
Yes.
He's my all-time, my biggest crush.
From a hotness standpoint or from like a career standpoint?
I have loved him since Legends of the Fall, everything. I love Brad Pitt. I want to meet him, and I think I will be so weird around him if I meet him. I think I will lose words. But, he doesn't remember people's faces. He says he has a disease.
He's lying.
He can't remember people's faces. My husband doesn't believe it.
Oh my God, can we say sorry, we.
Okay, so here, I have a story for you.
Go.
Everybody in my town, or just everybody I've ever met, always says that they've met me. I don't ever remember meeting anybody. And my husband's really upset because my husband says he has a photographic memory. If Brian was here today, when he's watching this, he will say out loud, "That is right. Thank you for saying that." He remembers everything. Name a date. Where were you on September 4th?
No.
1992. He claims he can tell you. I can't fact check it.
Okay.
But he's met everybody, knows everything about them. And I now do this thing where I pretend I've met everybody and I say, "Hi, it's so great to see you."
You
I
always
say
have
it to
to.
everybody. But now I'm getting in trouble.
Because
I met a lady the other day. I was at this restaurant and I'm sitting down. I'm like, "Hey, nice to see you. Like, so great." And my husband's like, you're so annoying. And she's like, "I'm visiting from Minnesota or soda." And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I thought
You know what?
I was exposed."
I get caught all the time. But when I say it's good to see you, don't say, "I've never met you before." Don't do that. That's cruel, okay? I'm out here doing the best I can. And you're calling me out. It's like, Rich, really not helping.
But do you want to know what's also stressful is that I'll be like, "Oh, where did we meet?" They're like, 2 years ago, Halloween. I'm like, "Great."
Halloween doesn't count.
We were all in costumes with masks on.
Halloween
and it
does
was
not
2
count.
years ago. My children are running amok. And I was probably drinking wine in my cup around town.
Literally.
I don't do that. That's just special occasions with the moms in town where we carry our wine.
You'll drink wine with me?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Promise?
Yeah.
Wait, did you recognize me when I came up to you at Rebecca Minkoff's?
You haven't changed. You look
God, I love you.
exactly the same, except you're a lot skinnier.
Oh my God, I love you.
But
I
not
love
that
you. I
you
love you.
needed to be, but
I did.
you look amazing.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
Girl, GLP-1s to my fucking booty.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on Zepbound.
Okay, so a lot of my girlfriends are on GLP-1s.
The best.
But they say it makes you really nauseous.
Yeah, just a little bit. But you know what makes me sick? Dieting. You know what makes me sick? Going to the gym. You know what makes me sick? Not being able to wear the clothes I want to wear. Honestly, it is so worth it. It's just I just feel hungover the day after my shot. And you know what, Chloe? I feel hungover a lot. Yeah. So I am used to it. I have been training for this moment in my life.
Every single one of my girlfriends is like, it's so worth it.
Wait, speaking of GLP-1s, you have a product called BioMe, and it was inspired by your own issues with digestion?
Yes. So BioMe.
Okay.
It was inspired by me. And Shannon Race is a really good friend of mine, and she runs BioMe, and it's blowing up. It's very, very cool. It's a fiber supplement brand.
Love.
And it's very, very cool stuff, and my husband's involved with it. But it was inspired by me because I have something called ulcerative colitis.
No kidding.
I've had it since I've known you, when we first met.
No way.
And it's an inflammatory bowel disease, and it was terrible.
What triggers it?
Nobody really knows, but I was on crazy steroids, both orally and actually rectally. I had a big face from it. It's called moon face.
Yeah, from steroids. Yeah.
And it honestly, for a decade, I could not go to the bathroom properly.
That's hell.
pooped my pants at Sundance in white pants.
No.
Yes.
Wait, can I hear that story?
Yeah. Well, that's the story. Is
Well,
I had
want
on
more
I had on
details.
white pants, and like when you have ulcerative colitis, you have to go right that second.
No.
And you also don't know if it's something called, I'm getting very medical now, but you don't know if it's something called tenesmus, where it's like a phantom urge to poop.
Okay.
And you go and it might just be gas.
Got it.
And I'm trying to start talking about this publicly because I really want to destigmatize it. Just like IVF and just like mental health and all the things, millions of people are suffering with Crohn's or colitis. And so I was at Sundance and I was racing back to the hotel and waiting for the elevator. And it didn't wait.
Chloe, I would have literally pooped my pants in solidarity.
It was so depressing. I was so skinny.
Were people around?
No, luckily no.
Oh,
And I took
Jesus.
my vest off and I like tied it around my waist, but it was sad. And I feel sad for Chloe,
I feel sad
young
for that
Chloe. For like 10, 12 years. It was everywhere I went, every restaurant I went to, anywhere I went with my husband, I was always looking like, where's the closest bathroom?
Right.
And I was afraid to eat anything because I was afraid that it would trigger, kind of like an upset stomach. But the irony is that it wasn't like I was going to the bathroom all the time. I also sometimes just had a lot of blood and mucus. It was awful. So I started taking fiber during the pandemic because my husband's Mr. Health and Wellness.
Yes.
And so he was like, you need to try fiber. And when I was looking around for brands that had fiber in them, I eat goldfish. I am not Miss Healthy over here. Okay. Like I will feed my kids fast food on occasion. Sorry, Brian. And, but I do look at labels now. And when I was looking, I was shocked at all the sugar and all the ingredients and stuff. And so I went to Shannon and some friends of mine. And next thing you know, all these years later, this brand.
Female boss, CEO, and founder. I fucking love this.
No, not me, but it's inspired by me.
Oh,
so, but for everybody out there that's suffering from ulcerative colitis and Crohn's, like my heart breaks for you guys. I mean, I've been in remission for 2 years.
Congrats.
But I've had so many colonoscopies.
Oh my God.
And I just found out that my iron is like really, really low. So I might have like micro bleeding. So I have to go back for another colonoscopy. It like never ends. I know.
My wife definitely has some digestive things for sure. So I'm excited for her to try the product for sure. Because she doesn't poop for days.
But this doesn't like help people with ulcerative colitis necessarily, but it's good to have fiber and it's good to just have.
Yes, everybody needs fiber.
And you know what? I couldn't believe that I'm so low in iron and I'm so low in vitamin D.
That's because we live in the Northeast.
So I've got to be taking like all sorts of things. And I've just started taking biotin and I thought that it like works after like 2 days. And it turns out you have to take biotin for like a year.
Literally.
Darn it.
Well, I pooped my pants in Chicago when I was on tour and I was in my hotel room. So it wasn't that bad, but pooping yourself is pooping yourself.
It is.
So I got you, girl.
Did you cry?
Of course I cried. Sitting on the toilet with my underpants full of poo. And then I was like, what am I going to do? The house gets so nice to do the housekeeping.
You have to throw it away.
I threw it out the window.
Oh.
Joking. Can you
like
imagine?
Patrick threw my purse out the window. I'll never forget that. In the rain.
I fucking
crazy.
Dead.
Full circle.
Full circle. Chloe, I love you. Thank you for coming on.
Maybe I'm going to get some like big apology from him now.
Literally, don't hold your breath.
I'm going to get something.
We're going to get something. And apologies, not really
no, I'm
on our bingo card.
I'm going to get a friendship with Stassi out of this.
You are.
That is wild. And I'm going to get a follow on Instagram. This is very exciting.
You are.
I'm going to look for that follow.
She was like, oh my God, I'm so happy this happened. We need this like reconnectiveness. Like she is. And she said when I was talking, sounds like you like love her. And I said, I do. And she gets we're best friends. So she's like, is this a new best friend?
Right.
But she said, this sounds like a new best friend. I said, it is.
And wait,
she
tell
said,
me about the show that y'all are on.
So Stassi, there's a show called Vanderpump Villa. It's on Hulu. There was a season prior, but season 2.
Is it out?
It comes out April 24th.
Oh my God. And so you are in like a castle in Italy?
So Stassi joins the cast this season for the whole season.
I see her like get out of this limo or something. It's like The Bachelor.
Yes. She's kind of like she is like Lisa's right-hand woman there, managing the staff and making sure everybody's minding their P's and Q's.
Okay.
But so basically, have you you seen Below Deck or do you know of Below Deck?
I've seen it a couple times.
So it like, you know how it's
Y'all
like,
are running a castle?
so it's the charter guests, there's a guest, and then there's a staff.
Okay.
So we are one of the guests that arrives at the castle for like, a little trip. So we get to join Stassi.
And do you order people around?
Well, not me really. Although I'm a little nervous. I might have
My
done
wife.
a bit of that. I'm a little nervous. And like, you don't want to be like the bossy, pain in the ass guest. And she's a little difficult. So I am not sure how it's going to play.
Like, is this going to turn into you becoming one of the Real Housewives of New York, you think, after this?
That's always my aspiration.
It's always a goal.
That's all I've ever wanted was to be a fucking housewife. Who knows what the universe has in store for me? But it's a step in the right direction.
Okay, good. You know what? You know who I text with sometimes and I feel really cool? I tell all my friends and my brother thinks it's so cool. Countess Luann.
I love her.
I love her.
I die for her.
I love her. She's so great.
We're going to her show. We should go. We should do a double date.
Let's do it. And you want to know what? Every time I see Ramona, she doesn't rember ever having met me.
That tracks. That's so
met
Ramona.
She's met me like 35,000 times.
Well, she has the Brad Pitt disease.
I literally have that.
Same.
I can't wait to meet Brad. Let's meet Brad and Dave.
Done at the same time.
Done.
I will explode. I will definitely poop my pants.
Our path to these people is Stassi.
Every path in my life, Mr. Stassi. Hello.
Just riding her coattails.
Oh, girl, I'm riding them so fucking hard. You got no idea. You guys, that is it for us, Chloe. Thank you for joining.
This was so great.
Where can everybody follow you, support you?
Well, I'm going to be launching a TikTok, and I don't know what I'm going to call it. I had a dream last night. It's going to be called On the Scene. So I wonder if that's taken. Chloe on the Scene. But you can just help me. I want to get more Instagram followers.
Okay, we'll
I'm
do
just
it.
Chloe Melas.
Yes, Melas.
Not Melace or whatever you said.
I can't read good or speak. I have a problem. I have a disease. Fuck your name up-itis. Literally every time. If your name was Jane Smith, I'd fuck it up. Chloe, I love you.
Love you too.
You guys, that is it for us. Have a great rest of your day. Until tomorrow. Bye, girl. Bye.